Hey guys, HCGChica. I came on today to talk about the question, why am I not losing weight on the HCG diet? I get this question sometimes, not because they're not losing weight entirely, but basically there comes a time on a round of HCG where an individual might find themselves not losing weight for a period of maybe 2 or 3 days, even as much as a week. They may experience no weight loss, or the weight loss is very small and a lot less than they're expecting. So, they're a little nervous and worried about it. What am I doing wrong? Things like that. So I just thought I would come on here, and this is actually going to be a two-part video. The first video, this one, is going to address basically the 4 main factors that I could think of that can affect your weight loss on HCG in a negative or positive way. A few of them you have control over, one of them you don't. And then the second video is going to address the most likely reason for having days with no weight loss. And just basically a heads up, it's perfectly normal actually to not lose weight every single day on the protocol. But I'm going to kind of go into more details about that in the second video, just so you can kind of understand how this process works and just make you feel more confident about the whole thing so you don't have to worry. So let's get started with the 4 factors that can affect your weight loss that I could think of. The first factor that I thought of that is important and that can affect weight loss is, are you hungry? It's very important when you're on the HCG protocol to not be hungry. If you are, you need to adjust your dose. And I have an entire blog post and video on dosing and finding the best dose for you personally. And I'll put a link to that article in the description box below. So that's very important. If you are experiencing excessive hunger on the protocol, from what I've seen, this will also translate into poor weight loss. So basically, if you're not hungry on the protocol, that means you have the right amount of HCG in your system, and you will then experience, the optimum amount of weight loss for your body. So I just think that that is the most important thing. Not everyone realizes how you should feel on the diet when you're new to it. So that's why the article that I wrote about dosing and how you should feel is kind of supposed to kind of guide you through that and help you figure out what it's supposed to feel like. So that can definitely affect your weight loss. The second thing that I thought of that might kind of seem like a given, but ask yourself, are you cheating on the diet? That might seem like a funny question, but actually a lot of the emails I get involve the fact that they are cheating, and people don't always realize when they're new to this protocol how much even small cheats can affect your losses on the scale. HCG is not a placebo, and the combination of the HCG hormone with your body and the 500 calorie diet, it's very special. And to be honest, I can't explain to you exactly what's going on, but something special is happening because a high amount of fat loss occurs. And as has been found, if you cheat on the diet and have certain things, like say I have a banana, I have no idea what could happen. I could easily gain a ½ pound, from eating a banana. Normally if you eat a banana off of the diet, that's a fairly healthy snack, right? It has a little bit of sugar and starch, but it's a fairly healthy snack. But the thing is, on HCG, there's different stuff going on than normal. So that's one of the important things. So if you are kind of grabbing and snacking on different things, nuts, etc., don't be surprised if you have a gain on the scale or no loss for a couple days, or stuff like that. That's not to say that you can never deviate from the original protocol, because I have. But the thing is that needs to be done strategically. You don't want to just eat anything, because certainly there are things, especially things that contain fat or starches and sugar, that definitely will interfere with your weight loss in a negative way. So don't underestimate what cheating can do to you on the protocol. It's not like cheating on another diet. So the third point that I wanted to talk about is, are you exercising? Now, I'm not saying that exercising on HCG is a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. But from what I've noticed, there are some who can exercise successfully on the diet, and there are some who can't. So you need to figure out which category that you fit into. Now, if you're exercising on HCG and you feel good, that's a good indicator that it's fine for you. And even if you're losing, not very quickly on the scale, that's not actually necessarily a bad thing if you're exercising, as long as you're actually feeling well. You could easily be losing just as much fat as you normally would, but possibly gaining muscle or having a little water retention from the exercise. So that's not necessarily bad. However, if you're exercising on HCG and you have any other symptoms, like you feel really crappy, you're really fatigued, you're having really bad food cravings, and you're exercising, that might be an indicator that the exercise is not meshing well with you and the HCG protocol. I'm actually in that boat myself, and that kind of leads me to believe that others who have different health, chronic health issues may experience something similar. Kind of what I guessed for myself is basically just that it's a little too much to ask of my personal body. I do have a few autoimmune conditions. I'm in fairly good health now, but I still have these conditions in my body. So when I go on HCG, if I add in the exercise, which I did try to do on one round, it just seemed to be too much for me. I had really bad cravings for food, which I normally don't have, and it's really not a good idea to have cravings on the HCG diet. That's very difficult, and I felt really crummy, and basically my weight loss came to a dead standstill on like the third day of HCG, which is pretty uncommon. So that's why for me I decided that it was better that I don't. So again, just look at your situation. If you're feeling some negative side effects while you're on the protocol and you're exercising, that may be an indicator that for you it's just a little too much for your body to go through at one time. Keep in mind that, your body is using your fat for calories for your daily body needs. And, normally our body is used to pulling its calories from the food that we eat, right? That's pretty much the general way our body's used to doing it. It's kind of the simplest way, I guess. And so we're kind of shifting that during this period. And now we're living off primarily our fat stores. And our body has to break down those fat cells and, turn it into other stuff, use it for the different things that we do, and so it's just more work. So it's a lot for your body to go through, and if you're not already in optimum health, adding in the component of exercise, it kind of could just put you over the top. So that's just another thing to consider. The last thing that I want to talk about, factor number 4, is actually have you gone to the bathroom fully lately? Have you had a bowel movement? HCG is no time to be prudish. You kind of have to talk about everything, and I think it's important. So keep in mind that when you're on the protocol, it's very normal to have bowel movements less frequently. If you think about it, you're taking in a lot less food, so it makes sense that there's going to be a lot less that needs to come out too. So what that means is sometimes you may not actually use the restroom for a few days. And it takes a few days to build up before there's enough to actually come out. So just keep that in mind too, that on those days, as things build up in your intestines, you might have a day or two where you have a very tiny loss or no loss at all. I don't know if you've ever noticed a time when you had an extra large loss on the scale one morning, and did you possibly have a fairly large bowel movement the night before or that morning? That's not a coincidence. Sometimes that happens. So just keep that in mind. Food does weigh something, whether it's outside your body or in your body. So, that's something that you don't really have control over. I don't really recommend using the different laxative type products. It can really mess up your body's own natural digestion in the long term. You can sometimes take things like magnesium or vitamin C to help a little bit, but just keep in mind that it's very normal to have less frequent bowel movements on the protocol, and just that it can temporarily affect your weight loss, but it's certainly not doing anything to the actual fat that you're losing on your body. So those are the 4 main things that I thought of, and the next video that we're going to get into, part 2, is going to talk about the main reason that I see for low or little weight losses, and basically it's actually perfectly normal. It's all part of the process, but we'll just talk about it in a little more detail. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you find that helpful. I have a Facebook page, so please go like it. It's Go HCG Diet. My name on there is actually HCGChica, but the link name is Go HCG Diet, and it's in the description below. But it's kind of a newer page, so please give me some love. I'd love that. Also, I'm on Twitter, HCGChica, and Google Plus, HCGChica too. So I'm on all those places, so feel free to help boost me up. So I'm kind of new with all these different social media things, so I'd appreciate your support. You guys have a nice day. Take care. Bye.